It's been almost 2 months, and I couldn't have left you guys out of the loop for that long, so it's time for another Raw Report. Welcome, everybody, and what's up to you, newbie? Thank you for stopping by, good sir. It is my pleasure to welcome you guys to the Raw Report, Ask Maximus Anything, episode 7, 2022. Oh, boy. What have I got in store for you, you ask? Well, lots of things, but first, let's get you caught up. I am the ULTRA MAXIMUS. Man, that was a pretty cool effect. It should work a heck of a lot better if I did this. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me here on a Wednesday night. Feels kind of familiar, huh? Yeah. We're not quite ready for the return of the greatest podcast show, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon. And where's the chat box? Chat box, why aren't you showing up? Anyway, let's see here. I am, of course, thanking all of my subscribers for joining us here this evening. Comment if you're watching this one on the rewind, of course. And don't forget to like and share the video. Leave a comment below. And don't forget to click that notification bell for notifications for when we go live. Never miss an opportunity. Yo, you know, there's a lot of people who are going to get here just in time. We haven't really covered into any of the goods yet, but this is part of the Ultra Box here. And the Ultra Box is getting stacked thanks to all of you wonderful subscribers. Heck, you might even be able to see a book or two that might be going in the Ultra Box tonight. Now, my Super Chat isn't active yet, but coming soon. Coming very soon. And then, of course, you guys don't want to forget to check me out on the next episode of the Secret variant. And that will be being recorded and aired live from this studio. And we'll do that sometime over the weekend here. That's one of the more important reasons why you want to like and share the video. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. But don't forget to, of course, subscribe to all the other wonderful people in this feature channel section. You know, Newbie Comics making an appearance in the live chat, of course. And then he's over there on that list for good reasons. And don't forget our friends in Nearing Nerdvana, who are obviously a lot further than their 328 subscribers. But make sure you guys go check out Ninth Wonder. Do you guys miss the Pro Spec list? Well, stay tuned. Don't forget to also check me out Friday nights when I can attend over there at 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Mighty Melby's channel for It's Drunken Chat, son. Follows always appreciated, whether it be on Facebook, on IG, or on Twitter. You can find all the links to that on my channel homepage. So here is a couple of different links. Of course, you can find me at ULTRA MAXIMUS on Facebook and IG. But again, the ULTRA MAXIMUS X is me on the Twitter. You can also follow me on Whatnot. And if you're asking me what Whatnot is a buy, sell, and go live application that you can do from your phone. Don't forget to visit them in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Download it. And then, of course, one of the first people you want to follow on there is going to be Wanna Comics. Wanna Comics bringing you some of the sickest exclusives. But, of course, they're a long-term comic book retail store. Been in the game for years, and it's made him an absolute animal at packing books properly. Can recommend. And then, of course, don't forget to check out our friends at comicbarricade.com, helping you keep your comic books upright. And you can use the code ULTRA to get you 10% off your order. And then there's this. This right here is the magical emblem created by the mythical unicorn himself, Mr. Herd S. Eric. Make sure you guys hit him up for graphics work. And then, of course, our friends at White Bad Audio are providing the wonderful royalty-free, copyright-free music. Subscribe to them at whitebadaudio.com. Of course, you can subscribe to them here at YouTube, but they also follow them on Spotify. So just do all of those. Now is the time. The time you have all waited for. It has been 5/27 was actually the last time I did a Raw Report. So it's time for you all to see just what kind of madness has the Maximus been getting. What have I been picking up? Well, it's been good stuff, I think. I think it's good stuff, but you know, there's a lot of people who disagree with what I consider to be good. But not you guys. You guys all know that I bring the heat. So without further ado, let's start this one off here. I'm going to start this one off with the new pickup. So this is generally books that I am able to pick up at my LCS. Or LCSs, or the LCS matrice that is my local area. So it's kind of a stack. Just saying. So I hope you guys are tuned in, locked in. We're going to talk some comic books. We're going to discuss life choices and all sorts of other stuff. So right now, welcome back to the Maximus Lab, everybody. I am again the Ultra Maximus, and you're watching the flagship show from this channel. This is called the Raw Report. So this is the one where I show you guys all the snazzy stuff I've been picking up over the last couple of weeks. And you leave me hate mail in the comments. And it is a fair trade, I would say. Cover lover, you got that right. And you know what? I enjoy the thrill of the hunt for rare stuff as well. But let's get into this, because I don't want this table to fall over. But yeah, this is the new pickup stack, everybody. So this is the new pickups. But that's not the mail drops. The mail drops are going to blow your mind. So what else is going to blow your mind is that I am not going to hold any bars. No holds barred. No holds barred. And I'm going to come out swinging with the first book. So, our first book of the evening, and is a book that I picked up before the debut in the most recent Hellfire Gala of the one, the only, Miss Angelica Jones, aka the Firestar. And there she is, everybody. There's her first appearance. Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends, #1. A very beautiful copy obtained from the LCS for a song. Oh, yeah, you know, when vendors call you a scrubber and you're like, hey, little do they know. So this is a book that, again, I have questioned the validity of the #1 of this series, because it did have some issues, and there's a rather large animal, and I got animals fighting at the door. Alright, give me a second. I gotta let this mud out. Alright, got the animals rotated, so we're good. So as I was saying, this is a series that I've questioned the validity of issue #1, because issue #1 actually contains an appearance of a book character that appears in a book that actually has multiple printings for issue #1 that everybody's trying to push as their first appearance, but little do they know that this character had a first appearance that previewed in another book. So what that is, of course, is Alice Ever After, and of course it's a 5-issue miniseries from Boom, so I'll be picking up all 5. I've been getting a bunch of the alternate covers. That is right. My little Maximus kitty. Yes. Oh, yes. You wanted in. The dog wanted out of the office, and the kitty wanted in the office, so I rotated the animals. Okay, so Alice Ever After, if you're reading it, let me know what you think. I'm going to read all 5 in one foul swoop and see how it goes. Meow. That is right. Hey. Animals. Alright, so here's the Crimson Reign. Tomb, good to see you. Crimson Reign with the Knights of Ren, and of course this is issue #5. So that's pretty tight. I like that connecting variant set. Now, as we all know, there is a book that has a first appearance on a cover, but it doesn't have them in the guts. And that book, of course, Not the one you probably thought it was. But this is your Star Wars Dr. Aphra, and this is issue number 21. This book is important for some reasons. I don't know why someone would pick up 2 copies of this book. Well, Fennec Shand. First cover appearance, Fennec Shand. And you might recognize Fennec Shand from getting a gut shot from this wonderful gentleman. So this is The Mandalorian issue number 1 with the action figure variant. And of course, this book is apparently selling good. I don't know why it would be selling for a lot of money considering how many store exclusives there were. Definitely no shortage of copies at the LCS, but apparently it's doing good. I requested 2 action figure variants. I was able to get 1. Sometimes that happens. That's right, kitty. And then, of course, we have Star Wars issue number 24. Right. And then Star Wars issue number 25. Keeping the run alive, everybody. All right, so you guys know that I do love the action figure variant set from John Tyler Christopher, and every now and then a theme variant set comes along where I'm like, ooh, I gotta nab all those covers. And I don't know if that's how you guys collect too, but that's how I roll. Yeah, see all those right there? Yeah, Star Wars action figure variants. Well, Star Wars is doing it again, and if you don't watch the Secret variant or Drunken Chat or any of the places that I've been dwelling, well, you might not have heard me talk about these. So these are the hilts. Every one of these is going to have the different hilts of the lightsabers that each one of the characters from Star Wars carries. I highly recommend you go and find this Bounty Hunters. General Grievous was the first. He wasn't heavily ordered because his artwork was not shown, I believe, when I did FOC at the time. And if it was shown, it still wasn't a heavily ordered book. So after Grievous, you have Obi-Wan. And this is on, of course, Obi-Wan number 2. So, you know, it's a book that I think FOC'd issue 3 before issue 1 came out. So issue 2 is already FOC'd, I think. Marvel, according to my LCS, is doing a 5-week FOC now. So, Darth Vader number 24 is, of course, the companion to go along with that Obi-Wan. And of course, for all of you Star Wars fans who watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, the episodes where you get your lightsaber duel, is something that like a generation of people waited for. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right, kitty. Next one is the Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren is on Bounty Hunters number 25. And then this one was just released today. This is, of course, Han Solo and Chewbacca. And this is Ahsoka. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Luke variants because this is the Luke with the green lightsaber. And as we all know, he doesn't end up with the green until the very end. He does have the yellow lightsaber in story, and I know that that's something that was anticipated by a lot of people. So when they actually did the action figure variant for that yellow lightsaber, they originally started it off as a 1 of 25, and then it turned out to be an open order variant. Remember that? I remember. Alright, and then Crawl. Someone said they want the Crawl one. There's the Crawl one. So this is on Darth Vader number 25. Giving you the Crawl. Make sure you have FOC those with your store if you're trying to put together a set. Yeah, it's one of those things that these are the types of sets that always creep up on people. look back at the Star Wars Greatest Moments variants. Some of the early ones were actually percentage qualifiers, making them insane when it came to like qualifying for it at the peak of like Star Wars. You know, like you guys were buying a ton of copies of Star Wars at the time. So a little bit on the heavy side. Now, of course, we're going to get into my favorite genre. Of course, you guys know I'm a huge fan. So this is by far one of the coolest trading card variants that they have done at Marvel in a really, really long time. Paying homage way back to the old Jim Lee X-Men set. This right here is Russell Dauterman actually doing a spectacular end cap to this team's appearance. So as you guys know, this was the issue that ended X-Men 13, and then they went to the Hellfire Gala. And in the Hellfire Gala is where they announced the new team, which of course has Havoc, Forge, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Firestar, and Sync, and Magic. Like it's a pretty stout team, right? So I think that's pretty cool. But lots of carnage going on at the moment in Avengers, X-Men, Eternals. However, I want to remind everybody that Tauren Clark is an absolute beast, and Tarn the Uncaring cares how well he looks in this cover, and he made sure that Tauren Clark took care of him. But he's also doing a line of variants which have appeared in just about every issue of X-Men Red, and the Arakko mutants. And okay, X-Men Red number 2, Iska the Unbeaten. I'm telling you guys, right now is a good time, good floor to get in on some of these mutants that have the most potential. Arakko and Arakai mutants, basically the people who were from the other dimension in Outworld that came in after Ten of Swords or during Ten of Swords. They're like chess pieces. The bigger universe has been set up. You know, even though Kirkman's no longer there, he still has the architecture in place for all of that stuff. So I'm still enjoying this era of X-Men books. I think this is probably the best era of X-Men books since Days Future Past. Alright, so as you guys know, I also am a huge fan of creator-drawn comics. Much later, like if you got a creator who's created a character, he leaves, goes to a different company for a while, but every now and then he comes back and does projects with that character. It's kind of like overseeing your baby. Whatever you think about him, he's one of my favorite artists. I don't know, everybody's like, oh, how can you say that? You guys just don't know the emotional connection that I have to the New Mutants books from the 90s and my youth. And that being like, yeah, the X-Men were cool, but who are these kids? Like, these are kids my age, like, exploring their powers and understanding their place in the world. But when he did create Deadpool, we all knew something big was there, even though everybody speculated on that book for being Gideon. But Deadpool Bad Blood. So this originally appeared in a hardcover that was released a couple years ago, and it was a great read. Introduction of a new character named Thumper, who's a pretty burly looking dude. You know, Liefeld used to, like, every team back in the day used to have one just like monstrosity of a huge size dude. Like Youngblood had Badrock or Bedrock or whatever you wanted to call him. Wildcats had Maul. Cyberforce, I think, even had some huge dude. So it was like every team needed that one, you know, monstrous dude. Liefeld always delivered. He always did. But the Deadpool Bad Blood series with that big dude Thumper, he's actually a friend of Wade's, like from Wade's past. So there's a lot of backstory there, and new pages have actually been inserted into this book. So if you read the graphic novel and then you read the 4-issue miniseries, which issue 3 just came out today, so it's going to be a little while. Issue 4 will be coming out, and then when issue 4 comes out, you should have a larger story than what you were originally offered. So I think that's a really cool thing. All right, so I know that this one's a fan. Lucas of Drunken Chat is definitely a fan. Maria Wolf. And I picked up this book specifically, not only because it's a Wolf variant. It's a series that I don't think was very well received, but it's also the first appearance of Sabretooth and the Exiles. So there's a new Exiles team in there, and Sabretooth's the leader of it. First appearance. Oh, okay. Continuing on with this story here, if you have not followed X-Men 92, X-Men 92 House of X Chapter 2, happening in this continuity where Jubilee is the one that gets that crazy, like, Moira McTaggart power. Marvel Man 616, thank you for joining us here. We're just getting started through the stack, my man, so you're still in the pickup section. So I appreciate you coming. So this House of X Chapter 2, X-Men 92 adaptation, I wonder what's going to happen with the X-Men 97 cartoon. That's where it's going to be a big watch as to what are they going to do with the mutants now that Fox and all those properties are now back under the Marvel umbrella, and they can actually do what they want to with the Marvel universe the way they want to. So it's going to be sick. As you guys tell, I'm a big fan, so I'm definitely anxious about that. And then, of course, this was one of those books that was in the back issue bins, marked down to $5, and it's a 25 copy incentive for issue number 2. So I went ahead and decided, hey, you know what? Might as well pick that one up. It's a cool X-Men cover, and of course, it's got Jean Grey up front doing the power. So, a lot of movement on a certain older book, and shout out to Doc Joe, because Doc Joe and I were talking about this book, where the first appearances of a lot of these characters come from, but Zeitgeist and X-Force number 116 is one of those books that I look for in the back issue bins whenever I'm there, as well as issues 124, 125, first appearance of Dead Girl. But we have something excellent going on here with these variant covers, and the Excellent are apparently going to be back in another volume soon. But you guys know what I mean here. So the Excellent variant covers, and Mateus Manhanini did an excellent variant cover for issue number 1. Issue number 1. All right. Moving right along. Do you guys like Noto? Because Phil Noto is giving us the best variants for, in my opinion, for Immortal X-Men here. And Destiny again does not have very many variant covers. The third printing, House of X Chapter 2. You guys know? Can't turn it off. I can't stop it. But Phil Noto, and let me tell you, the next couple of books are some of the reasons why I love X-Men books, because when good artists draw these characters, these covers are perfect. So continuing the Phil Noto Immortal theme, so here is the Emma Frost, right? But that was a variant cover for issue number 4. Issue number 4 also had a regular cover, and the regular cover for issue number 4 is a hit. This is a perfect companion to the other Black Queen. So for you SDC seers, there's going to be Mark Brooks is going to have 4 different variant covers of this one. So hit up the tables, grab them copies, put them up on eBay, do whatever you got to do. Oh man, this one. Here is your X-Men Red number 4. Yeah, let me get the glare off it. Jen Bartel, Jean Grey, Hellfire Gala variant cover. So some of these Hellfire Gala variants, they really hit. And when they hit, sometimes it requires getting multiple copies. Just saying. But yes, this one, my wife, it was even like, I really like that cover. Shout out to me, Mrs. Maximus. Oh, did I talk about this guy earlier? Mateus Manhanini. Shout out to Ninth Wonder. Definitely putting this guy on people's radar. This is the guy who did that upside down Miles Morales variant. And a lot of his art is under the radar at the moment. And I think like what's really cool is we're in an age where the art is so good. A lot of these guys are going to be superstars in the future. Now, I wasn't able to get the variant cover, which I wanted. I was kind of sad about that because there wasn't actually any copies left on the shelf for me to swap out the A cover for the variant. But Knights of X number 4, not so shabby. You know what else is not so shabby? Right here. This right here is the Rogue variant. Knights of X. And that's Knights of X issue 3. So that's why that one went 2, 4. 3 was right here. But, alright, so I've seen all the covers. We've seen, you know, what goes down at the Hellfire Gala. Who is your opinion for best dressed? That's what I'd like to know. Leave me a comment below. Let me know who you think best dressed at the Hellfire Gala was. Because, let's see here. There were some people who were saying that Peter Parker was best dressed. And I gotta hand it to him. This is probably one of the sickest Spider-Man costumes to date. Alright, so next time they do a Hellfire Gala, they're gonna have to leave that costume up. And they should just do new designs for characters every year and debut them at the Hellfire Gala. But absolutely, Ultra's opinion, my variant, or one of my variants, because of course I have variants that are Kangs and variants that are Latvarian Monarchs, but I gotta give it to Dr. Doom, everybody. Dr. Doom absolutely killed it, murked it, whatever you want to say. That drip is on fire. He is the best dressed of the entire Hellfire Gala variants, and it's not even close. Not even. So this is on your Fantastic Four issue number 45. Empire Comics, good to see you. Now, a little bit angry that she didn't get best dressed, but she totally understood with a little bit of attitude. Good old Laura. Very understanding Laura, and I think this is definitely one of the most unique designs. But Daughterman, once again, delivering some fire. Okay. Now, that's a variant. That's a second print. That's that one. So, get into that one next, I guess. Speaking of Wolverines, one of the best Tango and Cash team-ups will always be Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'm not saying that he's coming back, but whatever Wolverine does appear in the MCU will absolutely be teaming up with Ryan Reynolds. So it's going to be a very, very comedic Ryan Reynolds with a very serious, grumpy, disgruntled Wolverine. It's going to be what we always wanted. But one of the things I know that we've always wanted is for Logan to absolutely just shred Deadpool, chop his arm off, slice him in half, whatever. That's what happened here. It looks like Deadpool got sliced up really, 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 really badly. So issue 20. This is the second printing. I have the first printing around here somewhere, but I may have shown it to you already. But the second printing was definitely something I did not want to leave lying around, just because it's cool. And then, of course, issue 22 had this variant cover. So 20, 21, 22 And then issue 23, which I could have sworn might have broken out. No, I think I left issue 23 because I didn't find a good enough copy, which happens sometimes. Okay. Oh, sorry, Kenny. You kicked the damn cat. Crawled up underneath my feet. As you guys know, Mr. Russell Dauterman's name has been dropped multiple times already here on this episode of the Raw Report, but we're going to talk about him again because Mr. Dauterman and his continuing theme. So, what do you guys think about this theme? I actually love it, as you can probably tell. One of the better reads as of lately. And if you're not reading it and don't understand why it's one of the better reads, let me tell you, you should go all the way back to issue 1 and just pick it up. And of course, here is a wonderful Moon Knight variant with Tyra. That is for issue 12, which I can't remember if there was an incentive for issue 12. I haven't picked up every incentive for that run, but I picked up a few of them. Some of them I really like, some of them not so much. But I tell you what, when they have an open order cover by Gist, and it looks like this, it's fantastic. So I have another animal killing my office door, so bear with me for a second. I'll tell you, animals. Bunch of filthy animals. Okay. If you don't know what the swipe is, you probably didn't pick up this book. If you do know what the swipe is, you know the deal. I have a feeling something's going on here. Binary being made into her own character, right? Pretty weird. Be separate from Carol, but look like Carol walking around, right? It's as if she's a clone. Ah, this artist we've talked about. Miles Morales, Spider-Man. First appearance of Billy as the Spider Smasher. So Billy Morales, first appearing as a baby all the way back in Spider-Man 13. 2 printings. Alright. As you guys probably remember, the mortal enemy of Silver Surfer, according to issue number 34, is Thanos. And Thanos apparently plagues Silver Surfer throughout a lot of that volume. You guys remember it. You know what I'm talking about. However, Silver Surfer Rebirth gives us this wonderful Yoon variant cover. And this is issue number 5. So I bought that to go along with the issue number 1, Mcniven, where he's just kind of like floating in water, blue space, whatever you want to say. Good stuff there. Now, this was a book that apparently was sold out and kind of rare, but man, the reorders hit. My LCS had a stack of them. So, but this right here, of course, is the Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor, with a swipe of Journey into Mystery, number 83. So the first appearance of Thor, or 82. I can't remember if it's 82 or 83 right now. I'm blanking. This is just one of those crazy books that kind of coincided with the movie. Let's see what else I got left in the list here. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so this was the first appearance, and I'm going to give a shout out to Drew, because he definitely told me that something was up with issue number 125. And for all of those guys who still want those sets together of these design variants, well, here you go. Issue 125, Batman 125. Design exclusive. It's not an exclusive, I'm sorry. Design variant by Jorge Jimenez, though. and it is the cover appearance of Failsafe. This was one of those amazing things. You guys ever walk into an LCS and see a 25 copy incentive on the shelf with the regular books and immediately put it in your stack? So I haven't read it yet. I don't know what's in the guts. I haven't had time. I've had an extremely busy day today. But you guys see what I'm seeing right here? Besides Blue Marvel and Galactus's mama? Good stuff. Moon Knight's girlfriend joining the Defenders. That's wild. All right, so let's see, how can I organize these? Let's put some of the indies. Let's put the indies in the back. It is indeed a nice Defenders cover, isn't it? But you know what? The cover for this, RB Silva. This right here. I was going to start trying to collect this set of sideways, like postcard variants that we're going to call them. But this one right here, Black Panther number 7, the Wakanda variant. Probably one of the most fire-looking open order variants of the Black Panther series. Just going to put that out there. It was open order. Wasn't even incentive. You know? Yeah, I only got one too. It's one of those Queen Key. It's sick. Now, a tough. All right, I went through a stack of these books looking for one that had pressable defects only. It's pretty hard to do. And of course, shout out to the Unpressable Defects crew. Thank you guys for everything. But this one right here, this was one of the ones that I went through the stack in order to find a ultra grade. As you guys know, I like to try to find the highest of high grades as possible, making it just a tap-in 9.8 whenever possible. Evils Comics, good to see you, man. So the all-new, all-different Savage Avengers issue number 2, Jenny Frisian sneaking in here with this just sick Cloak and Dagger variant. And also, I think this is one of the best Cloak and Dagger variants that's ever been done. And it's like, how do you one-up that? Put Jenny Frisian on a Cloak and Dagger book if they ever get a solo series again. Now, I'm surprised this book did not take off more after what's inside the guts. But of course, I'm showing you guys all a lot of covers and stuff like that I like, right? But this right here, this is one of those situations where inside is very, very important, especially if you're following the story. So, Savage Avengers number 1 leads us to a new Deathlock who's hunting the Avengers. And of course, here we have the Elektra Daredevil. And Savage Avengers number 3, I'm sorry, the all-new, all-different Savage Avengers number 3 reveals who the Deathlock is. And it's a major Marvel character. The fact that that book hasn't blown up to extreme levels is one of those things that either the Miles fans, I'm sorry to spoil it. It's a week old, so it's probably spoilerific. Miles Morales is the Deathlock in the all-new Savage Avengers. So if Miles is the Deathlock, that means all the other heroes got assimilated, he got converted, and he's the one who got sent after him? Bro. And I made a joke. I said he's going to be Galactus by the end of the week, too. So, poor Miles. I mean, they are putting him through the Miles-verse. They're making him be Thor, the Incredible Hulk, they're Captain America. You know, it's like Miles is being abused. He's a better character than that. Come on. So as you guys know, I might be just a little bit of a Transformers fan, and one of my favorite Transformers artists is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Alex Milne. If you haven't followed him on IG and Twitter, please do so. Marker Guru on IG. Again, his lines for robots. So whoever is paying attention to obtaining the Transformers license, there's your cover artist. Pay him well, give him good enough heads up on deadlines, and please let this guy do an interior book every now and then if he can, because Alex Milne is just a beast when it comes to drawing Transformers. I kid you not. And this right here is Transformers: The Fate of Cybertron. This is it's a higher price book. I think it was either a $5.99 or a $6.99 cover price. Oh, because it's a incentive. It doesn't have the cover price on it. But yeah, $5.99 or $6.99 cover price, one shot. So this book right now, I'm seeing copies for like 30, 40 bucks. If you have that on your LCS shelf, it might go check to see some of the solds on eBay. I bet you'd be surprised. Now, I'm going to do this in reverse order here because you've heard me talk about both of these. But as you guys know, I do occupy a little space and a place called DeSantis Land, aka Florida. Today, we had a comic book get released. And there, right there, is a girl holding a gator. Not a bad looking girl either. And I noticed she's got red hair. And then, to accompany a few other books, but to go along with the Deadpool Coppertone cover, is the much more cheeky Florida Man variant. Gator don't play no shit. I can't remember which one is the variant, which one was the regular cover. That's one of those funny situations. This one is definitely a variant. It's the number 2 variant. So, Florida Man, that one came out today. Happy hunting. And this was a book that I talked about, but the cover is by a famous guitar player. The book is also co-written by a famous guitar player. You might have heard me talk about this publisher called Opus. They've had a couple of really good books. They, of course, did that one Disturbed McFarlane variant cover. It also had Capullo artwork on it as well. But this right here is the Crystal Planet #1. Joe Satriani variant. So this Crystal Planet is the Joe Satriani book. And issue number 2 has that Thor swipe. It's a swipe of that one Thor versus the Silver Surfer cover. Pretty cool stuff. So, I haven't read it. No, I haven't read it. But that is the same publisher that is putting out the Frazetta Death Dealer books. So that's one of those new publishers to watch. Yeah, shout out to Death Dealer. So, I know some people have been loving Death Dealer because it's a Death Dealer comic. Like, what? So, I love the Opus books, and I love the fact that they're getting traction. The Dark Messiah book is, of course, the Disturbed book. Death Dealer is the Frazetta book. There's a Bill and Ted's book. Kind of wild, right? Bill and Ted's Adventures continuing on in an Opus comic book. So, fans of that book, of course, are probably chasing after some of the Opus titles as well. All right, so that appears to be the end of the new pickups as far as the store obtained stuff. So this is that's the stuff that again I obtained from my LCS. So shout out to my LCS is Acme Superstore and of course the Collective. But as you know, sometimes we cannot, of course, obtain the unobtainable when it is not appearing on the shelves in a place that we can buy it. So sometimes we have to order online. And, well, as you guys know, I like to order online, and I like to make sure that when I do order online, I get the goods. So let's get into these mail drops, and you guys are going to love this. Man, look, to understand that this is 2 months worth of pickups. So it's just, like, again, I'm very selective about what I buy. I do not buy a lot of flips. I haven't been buying a lot of flips. I've been buying a lot of, like, as you can tell, personal collection books. Stuff that I just really, really like, and I think it's going to be cool. Maybe one day we get to share with the kid. So let's start off the pickups from the mail with a graphic novel. Yes, you heard me right, everybody. And of course, with her show debuting, The Sensational She-Hulk by John Byrne. And this is the 3rd printing That's why it's a very, very nice looking copy. Needs a press, but for the most part, man, it's the back cover's a little bit iffy. Should maybe 8.5, which is decent for a graphic novel, if you ask me. So that is one of the tremendous pickups that I got. Came in a wild looking Mylar, right? But I was fortunate enough to find that book and another book for the price that one of these books sells for. Targeted. And shout out to Brian Steelfreeze. And of course, if you're going She-Hulk, this is probably one of the She-Hulk books you want to pick up. Of course, it is that magazine size format, Marvel graphic novel size, but big stuff here, right? And then of course on the back it shows the legendary beard. What is up, Art Chemist? Good to see you. So again, shout out to Brian Steelfreeze, and of course thanks to that seller for selling me both of those for a decent price. But man, that seller did not sell comic books at all. You can tell because of the way they threw those things in a priority mail envelope and sent them. I'm surprised they arrived in as good a shape as they came. I'm just saying. Yeah, here's the Mylar that they sent it in. Binder case. Oh, all right. So this is the cool stuff, and of course, I might have bragged about these books before. If you follow me on IG, you might have seen me make a post about them. And again, might have another copy right there. So here we have Transformers Shattered Glass, the first volume, which the second volume has been announced. I don't know how they're going to put them out, but apparently, you know, Pop-Tart box, that's crazy. Shattered Glass 2 is coming with exclusive figures, only available through Hasbro Pulse. So it's the only way to get these retail exclusive editions is to actually order them with the figures. Now, I was able to score a almost complete set. Nolan Nerd in the house, bro. Where you been at, man? Hope you're well. But I was able to score the entire set of the Shattered Glass run. And of course, there is the other copy of this book. There is the figure for the book right here where my pinky is. Here is the book itself. So now I've got 3 copies of the first canon appearance of Shattered Glass Megatron. So basically, this is a good guy Megatron. And do you guys recognize the pose? If you recognize the pose, it is coming from directly a swipe. Transformers the movie. Optimus Prime does that jumping transform, shooting at some of the Decepticons, where he's like doing a flip, like flips over in the air right before he gets, you know, shot by Megatron. Out of the way, Hot Rod. And of course, for anybody who says that Rodimus or Hot Rod got Prime killed there, Prime got himself killed. If you watch closely, he had the shot and he did not take it. And this is the reason why the whole Han Solo Greedo thing, who shot first, doesn't matter. If you have the shot, you need to take it. Especially if you're in danger. If you're threatened by someone that's like a threat level of a Decepticon, I mean, Megatron's killed more people than have ever lived. Yes, do that math. It's possible. Shattered Glass number 3, however, features a Shattered Glass Starscream. So he's a good guy Starscream. First one was a bad guy Blur. Second one was a good guy Megatron. Third one, good guy Starscream. And then, of course, here we have bad guy Bumblebee, a.k.a. Goldbug. So this is where Goldbug and his all-loving accuracy from, you know, what they did to him over here. Trying to rebrand him. And then, of course, this right here is Jetfire in his evil Decepticon format, which he's a conflicted character, of course. This is, of course, Jetfire, the same one and only Jetfire, who swap back and forth between being a Decepticon and an Autobot. Okay. So there's more than 50 state variants in the 50 state variant set for USA Avengers, but one of the quote states is Deadpool, the Avenger of Canada. So this is your official Canadian variant, I guess you could say. Maple Leaf, right? Anybody complete the map? That's a set that would be pretty fun to chase and put together, right? I think Ant-Man's the official Avenger of Florida. Okay, so in this Strange number 3, issue 125, there's the first appearance of a new threat. If you read it, you know what I'm talking about. And again, continuing on the wonderful experience that is Deadpool. Here's the Deadpool Annual. And this is, of course, Rob Liefeld doing a Fried Pie variant, creator-owned work. And I wish it was in better shape. Drew Biz does not bag and board his books. We're going to look at another book that I may be returning. But right now, I'm going to give a shout out to Wanna Comics for this insane variant of The Closet, number 1. And also, see that Poison Ivy right there? Autograph says to Ultra with a heart, so that Micah. Thanks, Drew. I really appreciate that, buddy. Of course, I've got. Oh, actually, that's the foil. That's the foil. I'm sorry. Here's the Virgin to go along with that. Here is the trade dress, and then here. Here's my signed one. Thanks, Soza Micah, for all that you've done, and then congratulations on your superstar status. For all of my drunken chat sharks who clearly remember that Spec Matrix happened right before she blew up. Big time blew up. Huh. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got 2 of these. So the note that came on these books was very special, and I got to give a shout out to the seller because he definitely hooked it up. So as you guys know, this is the first appearance of the girl who steals the suit from Felicia and Tony. Felicia's mind property, obviously her IP. Enola, that's actually one of the better ones to collect. So good on you for collecting that one. That one should pay dividends going into the future. But this right here, of course, was a really funny pickup because these were $5 a piece. So when the books are that cheap, right? When they're $5 a piece. Marvel Annual. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, November 1984. Listed 4/8/2020. One of 37. We have 2. Nothing special here. Nothing special here. Can I ask you guys, is there anything special about that book? Let's see. Save those for last. Well, not last at all. Oh, yeah. I like these. Okay. So, as you know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. I collect obscure things like New Mutants, Rob Liefeld, but this one in particular happens to have an insert inside of it called a Mark Jeweler. And I think I showed that one on Spine Ticks, and the seller was in the live chat. So thanks again for hooking that one up. And then another throwback to Spec Matrices of Past. If you guys follow what I'm on, here is the wonderful Avengers Classic reprint of the first appearance of Wonder Man. And Newbie, my buddy, I had no clue that you were in the Wonder Man books too, man. Wonder Man, I had a subscription to Wonder Man. Yeah. Now, and yet another throwback to a previous Spec Matrix. I mean, I hope that you guys know what I'm showing you in my pickup videos should give you a clue that when I show you guys the Spec Matrix, it's not to get you guys to buy books. Like, this is what other people do. I'm not going to name names. A lot of people like to brag how they, you know, buy out the books that are on the internet, have one listed for sale where they set the market, and then they make it look like their spec's popular. Okay, I know a lot of the books that I chase after are probably not going to be chased by everybody, but a few people, if you're into it, right? Well, this is one of those books. I've talked about this book now twice on the Spec Matrix because it made the J.C. Penney list, because this is indeed Wonder Man #2, second printing J.C. Penney variant. So the only way to get this is through the J.C. Penney catalog. When you ordered the, I think it was like 1992 or 1992. When you ordered the 1992 set, you got a comic book box with a comic book collection, a stack of the second printing books that were only available through the J.C. Penney catalog. Shout out to Dennis Barger, Wonder World Comics, who, according to him, says that there are less than 2,000. Less than 2,000 of those second print books. So some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are really, really cool. Actually, I got a few of them, as you guys know. Just on top of those two right there. But that Wonder Man #2, extremely hard to find. Enchantress story. So it's definitely one of those books that I think, if they wanted to have a mixture of the science and the magic, that would be a book to go with. Now, if you have paid attention to a couple of Spec Matrices a couple of weeks ago, Thor Love and Thunder Spec. And if you haven't seen Thor Love and Thunder and you're watching an episode of the Raw Report right now, I'm going to spoil you. And while I appreciate your views and wish you were hanging out with me, well, it's going to be one of those things. I'm going to talk about the movie. So you've been forewarned. I'll give you a 5-second heads up. Okay, so spoiler, Thor Love and Thunder, Jane Foster dies. So she goes to Valhalla, which in the movie they planted a seed very early on that mortals don't go to Valhalla. Like, that's only a place reserved for gods. So whatever happened to Jane Foster, wherever she was when she died, is the reason why she went to Valhalla, because she had actually ascended to a different plane of existence. She was in the plane of the gods. So when she passed away there, they, I guess, used that as a loophole to get her there. There's only one way this turns out. All right, and that way, I do believe, is going to be Valkyrie. So here we have War of the Realms Omega. And this, of course, is the second printing of issue #1 that shows right there on the cover Jane Foster clearly as the Valkyrie. There's also a very uncommon, because obviously the book went second printing because people were not ready for it. This is War of the Realms Omega 1 in 50 incentive. I think this one is, who's it, Yarden? Yeah, it's the 1 in 50 variant. But there she is, clearly on top. If they do the storyline Return of the Valkyries, or Return of the Valkyries turns out to be a Disney Plus show, that is where we can expect Runa and the revelation that there are two characters based on the Tessa Thompson one. Nolan Nerd, don't ask me. I love it. I loved it. And I know a lot of people that don't. Alright, so we're going to take a journey back into the Star Wars realm, and unfortunately I'm going to show you the first book that I may actually be returning. Because it's not near mint enough, but this right here is the Rancor, so this was the final book needed in order to get my set complete, and I decided to splurge on it. Now, I got me another copy because the one copy I have right now is John Tyler Christopher signed 9.8 CBCS, but I wanted an unsigned raw, and this right here is the Star Wars issue number 66. Execute Order 66. Issue number 66, Yoda Jedi Master variant cover. So this was a John Tyler Christopher exclusive, only available through his web store. And the last Star Wars action figure variant that I'm going to show you this evening, I promise, because I've shown you a ton of Star Wars books. This one right here is the Rise of Kylo Ren #1. Now, I don't know where these came from, but obviously the back stock got released because this book was rarer than a hen's tooth for a really, really long time. Raws were selling for over $50. At one point, I got so pissed off about that, I went out and I bought me a 9.8. So I have this in a 9.8. But here is another copy I managed to pick up, and I do highly recommend that you all pick it up too. Apparently, there's some first appearances in there. Now, another one of the books that was in the stack, this is going into the Ultra box. So if you are a fan of the Gold Bug, you have a chance to win this one as well. Comics Main in the house. Good to see you, Main. We're going through the list of stuff. So Main got a sneak preview of something amazing, and the final, this actually counts as one pickup. The final pickup of the evening, and I'm going to show you guys, is something that's just absolute insanity. As you know, I talk about being a huge X-Men fan. How big of an X-Men fan am I? I'm so big of an X-Men fan that I actually have to have a book. Well, this is a slipcase. There's a book inside of this thing. But if you can see, you guys know I'm not exactly a tiny guy by any means. This thing's massive. But here's my head next to it. So this thing's bigger than my head. I'm 6'3", so it should give you some idea. But this right here, everybody, again, is the Marvel Paragon Collection Chris Claremont. Inside of this case came a little package and a certificate of authenticity. The package has a bunch of goodies on the inside of it, and I'll get to showing you those in a second. Let me get you the certificate of authenticity first. So inside of this came this little certificate of authenticity. It talks about how this is a numbered edition, limited edition, to 2,180 produced. So that means there's only 2,180 of these. You know, is that a lot or not? So also inside of this wonderful slipcase is the actual Paragon Collection sealed book. It is signed by Chris Claremont with one of 4 X-Men quotes. So that's really, really neat, right? Big old book. So that's the goods that you get. You get the Paragon Collection with the hardcover book that's on the inside, so it looks really good on your shelves, and you don't feel bad about it. But on top of all that they gave you, okay, top of all that they gave you right there, there's this on the inside. This is the Marvel Paragon Chris Claremont Marvel made prints that come with the set. And I'm going to show them to you. So in this, they have the ability to tell you what number of the 2180s you are. I just happen to be number 497. So 497 of 2,180, and they gave you these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prints. Let me show you what these are. So this first one, this one is the Salvador LaRocca. Pretty decent, right? And then this is the Marcos Martin. So it's Storm and Callisto. So these are just black and white prints. But wait till you see some of the things that are in here. So let me see how we can order these. Yeah, let's do it this way. So here, and the lines and the details on this one are insane. This is the Philip Tan. Philip Tan. I don't know if they've ever used that for a cover, but that's a monstrous cover. And it looks like it probably was an alternate cover that was coming for Hellions because of the storyline they got going on in there between Magic and oh, actually no, this is just a recreation of Inferno. Okay, good stuff. Phil Noto, and this is I guess one of the test covers that he did for Jean Grey's Resurrection. And then actually I do believe that this book just had this a book actually had this cover printed. And this is, of course, the Storm by Art Adams. It's got the New Mutants in the background, but this is the one with her, obviously, with the powers of Thor, wielding Mjolnir. And then this one's wild because this is a Joe Quesada Wolverine with a big old bear. So all of these are just wicked prints that come in the set. So we're all the way back to the first one again. But that is not the best part about that Paragon Collection. The Paragon Collection, depending on if you ordered it and you were a Marvel Unlimited subscriber, you got an extra book. You would get 3 books normally. You would get a 4th book, again, if you're a Marvel Unlimited subscriber. So one of the 3 books that you get is Wolverine number 6. Now, I haven't double checked into if there's anything special about Wolverine number 6, and this is, of course, the 2020 volume. So the ones that I showed you, issues 20, 21, and 22 today, well, this is issue number 6. But it's a Days of Future Past variant cover. Pretty cool looking artwork. And if you were, again, a Marvel Unlimited subscriber, you got an additional comic, which is this black and white version of it. So super duper, I mean, there's 2180 of these. 2180. They made the comics to go in the sets, put them in the sets, and that's it. So of the 3 different comics, this one might be meh to some people, right? Okay. The next 2 books, and the final 2 books of our Raw Report this evening before we get into the Ask Maximus Anything portion, where you guys in the live chat can ask me anything. Tag your friends, tell them to come on through, interact with the live chat, and of course, don't forget to smash that like button. All right, so the final 2 books. One of them, of course, is a very fiery redhead. The only way to obtain this variant cover, making it possibly the hardest and lowest printed one in the set. Ooh, some people are not going to like me for this one. The only way to obtain the John Tyler Christopher Uncanny X-Men Dark Phoenix was through the Paragon Collection. And this is Uncanny X-Men, X-Men number 13. This is of the previous volume of X-Men. So again, post House of X. So issue number 13, which I believe is 10 of Swords? Somewhere around there. Actually, no, this is post 10 of Swords. This is the... I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll have to open it and read it, but I don't want to. But yeah, the only way to get that John Tyler Christopher Phoenix variant cover, and let me tell you, man, Dark Phoenix, Fire of the Red. But what do you do when Marvel decides that, hey, you know what? We're going to make an exclusive comic that's only available through there. Those books, again, are reprints of or variant covers of existing books. But what happens when you take a book that doesn't exist anywhere else and put it into one of these sets? On top of it, make it written by the legendary Chris Claremont, who, as everybody knows, is one of the biggest influences on the X-Men properties. And then you give it a good cover by a good artist, and give it Salvador LaRocca to do some interiors. You know that this book is fire on the inside. So I present to you a book that actually ties in. It's not a reprint of the original Wolverine #1. It actually takes place tying into that volume. This is Wolverine #1, the Marvel-made edition, Steve Mcniven variant. And yes, it says 60 cents in the corner. I don't know why, but it says 60 cents in the corner. This right here, again, 2,180 copies exist. It is a Wolverine story written by Chris Claremont that ties into the Frank Miller drawn series by Chris Claremont as well. That was the #2 reason why I bought that Chris Claremont collection. The Jean Grey action figure variant was a chase of mine. It's just one of those books I didn't have my hands on and I couldn't really find easily. But that's going to be it for the pickups this evening. So we move on. If you like the pickups, leave me a comment below. And man, I've been alive for over an hour. So don't forget to subscribe to all the other content we're dropping on this channel. And the secret variant coming at you this weekend. Now it is time that we get into the final segment of the show, which is the one where I'm hoping you guys in the chat will light it up. Ask me anything. Let's talk about it. Anything you want, anything you need to know, comic book drama, picks, SDCC wishes, any of that stuff. But this is how we're going to close the show. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to load up the chat with some questions for me. Make it good. So really, other than Nolan Nerd asking me what I think of Thor: Love and Thunder? Is a top chat on or a live chat? No, that's live. Apparently, y'all ain't got nothing to ask me. It's a good thing I got music. Ooh, Hotshot. He's not even an option, man. We don't discuss that Transformers universe. Hotshot. That's like a distorted version of Rodimus. You know that, right? But he does actually make an appearance in the comics. And all the different versions of Rodimus get together to help the Marvel version of Rodimus. Oh, it's just one of those things. I don't mess around with Hotshot. Dan De La Torre in the house. So Dan, you're coming in at an opportunity to ask me anything. So if you think of a comic book question. Oh, Queen Key Comics. Okay. It's going to be on a weekend. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend or next weekend. But you're going to want to watch, and I will advertise the show on IG and on YouTube. Ooh, okay. So 59 and 60. Those are the last two you need? Man. So, Jeffrey, here's the deal. Those are qualifiers. Other than the eBay, you are on your own. You're gonna have to just use your intuition. Oh, absolutely. Queen Key, you better believe there will be an advance notice. Absolutely an advance notice. Bumblebee or Starscream? Well, I mean, that's kind of a given. Starscream. Bad comedy. I mean, okay, comic market is on the dip because of the economy. Buy now or buy next year as we deal with the recession, inflation. You know, Dan, that's actually a very personal question. Some people aren't really affected by the current economy because they make enough money that they can continue to buy stuff. Other people may be getting hit in other places and cutting costs in order to make things work. You know, I've been in both spots before, making good money, and then also have been destitute. So I will say this. If you are selling books, you're probably going to expect to sell them for underneath what the last sale is. Just being honest. Especially if it's an unpopular book. But who knows, man? People still need entertainment, and I've seen people flock to entertainment even through really bad recessions, and it'd be no big deal for them. But buy now, buy on the dip with anything. But I want to remind everybody on the Maximus method. The Maximus method is where you buy on the rumor and you speculate on the rumor, right? You're speculating that the rumor that you heard will come and turn into something else. As soon as there is news of that rumor, if it's 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years, the news on the rumor is basically your best safe option to get rid of that property. It's when people's attention are on it. They're going to flock to eBay, and their key collector app is going to tell them where to go and continue to buy what they're being told is hot. So if it gets memory hold and forgotten about again, you have to wait until there's either a trailer drop, another announcement, or a casting to remind people why they want that book. So be very, very careful, but I would say buy on the dip still. You know, Dan, everybody right now is saying long term, but we're dealing in still a volatile market. A lot of people like to push independence. I view independence as your Dogecoin, and I view Marvel and DC as more of like your Bitcoin and your Ethereum. So you have Dogecoin, which will skyrocket one day and plummet another, and then you have your Ethereum and your Bitcoin, which, yeah, it'll take a hit, it'll take a loss in value, but it'll still maintain, and then in most cases it'll go back up. So, if that right there is a way for you to see, I think that's a good approach. Just buy what you like is going to help even more than anything. Especially if you're buying the stuff that you just like to read and you just happen to get lucky. But thank you for that wonderful question. That's definitely one of the better ones. So what else you guys got for me? Gotta have something for me. I can't just blow your minds with an hour worth of spec and pickups. Or can I? Who are we? I don't know, man. Who are you? Thank you for joining, J49. Whoa, do you have any comic book related questions? Or not comic book related questions that you would like to ask me? Because I am the Ultra Maximus. Thank you. Oh. No, I don't believe it is a good investment, but it may be a good flip. So here's what you have to remember. The way and I talked about this earlier with the Alice Ever After. So if Grimm is actually doing well, but Alice Ever After #1 isn't, I think that's kind of fishy and kind of should allude to it being a bad investment. How to ask a girl out? By telling her. But I'm retired from that business, bro. I'm a married man. I don't do that no more. But I used to tell girls, we're going to hang out. We're going to go out on Friday. Be a little bit more direct. But of course, I guess I was handsome enough to kind of pull that stuff off, because I hear that's the way it works. If you're handsome, it's okay. But, you know. Comics man, you got this. Confidence, that's how you ask a girl out. But back to the Grimm stuff. So also you guys know that the books are printed before FOC, right? Off estimates. Yeah, you say I'm tall and I got it easy, but my man, I used to be 5'5", 145 pounds. Okay? And it wasn't easy for me back then. Back then it was all swag. You had to talk your talk. I didn't hit height until senior year. So, just know. Act as if you're 6 foot tall, even if you're not. No, believe it or not, I was young once. Now definitely the hair is a little bit thinner, but it's all good, you know. Survival life skills. And as you guys know, I have my clone, my son. I can't apologize for him, because he's gonna be a lady killer if he's anything like me. He's better than me. He already is like walking up to girls 5 times his age, talking to them, saying what's up. Oh, so Queen Key Comics coming through with the thoughts on 8 Billion Genies. Well, if the property gets made, and it gets made well, just like anything else that gets made, you're buying on the speculation, on the rumors, right? It got option. So, you have news. And hence the people who follow the formula who are selling on news right now. I mean, if you're getting $150 to $200 for that Bird City exclusive, limited to 500, that's good money. That's a good return. The rest of the 8 Billion Genies variants, how are they doing? Watch the market. Watch what they're doing. Watch what they're actually selling for on eBay. And the easiest way to tell is if buy it nows are sitting, but auctions are getting bid on. That right there is the clearest sign of somebody trying to take you for a ride. So those are always things I watch. And of course, whenever the auctions are underneath the buy it nows and the buy it nows are sitting, and the auctions keep closing underneath the buy it nows, that's the opportunity where you take that best offer and you apply it. But again, I have 0 copies of 8 Billion Genies of any print. So I am not invested in this at all. I will say it's a good flip right now. If you can still find that hole in the wall, honey hole that doesn't really sell a ton of books but orders everything, it's probably one of those things. But again, this is an Image book that Image said, remember how Image said, oh, we're never doing second printings. We're never doing late printings anymore. And then all of a sudden this book gets multiple printings. So that's a sign that Image is like, wow, you know, this book's selling really well. Maybe we should go back to print for it. So they went back to print for it. But are we going to be continuing to follow the themes of first prints not being worth anything and the second, third print, fourth print, whatever, you know, being the one to get? I'm in the camp of no. I think I'm more in the camp of, is it a variant of the first print? Does it alter or change in every way to give you different cover art? You know, there's a lot of different exceptions to the rule when I'm applying it. But yeah, I mean, if it makes sense to you on that one, it could be great. It could be not. But I try to apply what's called the net zero approach. And shout out to Gary Nusser, the Comic Perspective, who also follows this methodology. When you're buying in for a speculation book, speculatory book, whatever your buy-in is, you want to try to make back and still have inventory that is able to be moved or moving, or have moved more inventory than what your investment cost was, and either have a 9.8 left over or 9.8 and a couple raws, or just raws, however you like to collect it, you know. And I like that method because you move on the news and already break even. It's the net zero approach. So then you take that money, you go back and reinvest it in other books. And if you follow the net zero approach and you do it religiously, you'll end up, you know, having 1 or 2 copies left of a book that may not be hot, but you've already sold the other ones at their peak. And usually that's good for you if you're just, you know, trying to flip on the side. Useless information for some people, but worthwhile to others. It came from the heart, so I'm glad you feel that. All right, come on, guys. Hit me up. Give me something. Give me something tough. But you guys are great. Thanks for humoring me with this Ask Me Anything. But one of these days, you guys are going to come back with like fire questions for me. Stumpers, right? You want to hit me with some trivia? Down for that too. Make it anything happen here. Now I'm going to make a GIF file of this. Me head nodding. Looking at the camera. All right, I'll give it another 2 minutes. We're going to go to 11:05, everybody. And if you guys don't bombard me with some questions here, we're going to finish the show. So I want to thank each and every one of you for sticking through this broadcast here, taking a look at some of the wicked pickups I've had over the past couple of months. The Paragon Collection definitely is like Grail status for me. Like there's two Grail books in there. And, you know, the Chris Claremont collection itself, X-Men 94, X-Men 101, got all the goods. Days Future Past, all the stuff it should, right? Counting down. All right, so that appears to be our show this evening, everybody. I want to thank everybody for participating in the Ask Maximus Anything. Ghost Rider 5 Direct Edition. Ghost Rider 5? Like you talk about Danny Ketch Ghost Rider? Danny Ketch Ghost Rider? Really? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think it's near. I think I got it near. Yep. No, the one coming in August. Oh, I mean, if it's not coming until August, if it's a direct, they're all direct edition. There's no newsstands. But I'm not really reading the newer Ghost Rider series. I know some people are enjoying it though. But it's a little bit weird to me because like Johnny Blaze has an eyeball like in the back of his skull. But no, the Ghost Rider that I was looking for that I picked up at MegaCon is the Jim Lee Ghost Rider versus Punisher cover, second printing, gold variant. That's another one of those, you know, like the New Mutants 87 gold and X-Men 252 gold and some of those other books that came out around that time that they were just, you know, slapping gold, copper, and silver ink on. So it made it look kind of cool. Thank you, J49. You rock as well. And on that note, we are going to close the show. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell for notifications for when we go live here. And the next show will most likely be the secret variant unless something crazy happens. But this has been a little impromptu raw report, giving you some of the sickest pickups in the world of Ultra Maximus. Thank you again for joining. You guys in the chat, you're great. Look forward to seeing you for the members only or subscribers only chat on the secret variant. So don't forget to tune in then. And other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.